grapevine, I wouldn't have in there. Does that sort of make sense? Yeah. Okay. Praise and acknowledge. These people, you know, the gym is a foreign environment for most, you know, 70 pluses, and therefore this whole thing is a bit of a mystery to them. And to praise and acknowledge their sense of achievement and mastery is just really valuable. So a lot of that. As with any praise, make sure it's sincere, make sure that you mean it, and if you can be specific, that is even more powerful. So instead of saying to someone, hey, great, you know, hey Ange, you were great today, you were brilliant, that's fine, I mean, that's nice, but how about, Ange, you nailed that that press up thing we did against the wall. I watched you do that, that's really good, you know, good on you. So I'm being specific to Ange rather than a general thing. Yep. We've also got think experience, not just exercise. And I think after this afternoon, hopefully my goal is that you pick up one or two things that you think, yeah, well, that's quite fun, yeah, I could do that. I'm going to, think out of the box a little bit. So think experience, not just the exercise. They are not going to remember the fact that you did 10 sets of squats, you know, in a nice, safe way. That's not a memorable sort of a thing. They might remember some of the things I'm going to show you today, okay? And finally, keep it senior simple, because KISS, keep it senior simple, and that also can stand for keep it simple stupid, but keep it senior simple. All right. Some of the things again I'm going to show you. The more experienced aerobics instructors among you will be itching to add in some arms. All right. I just know you will. Right? You won't be able to help yourself. You want to make it slightly more complex, and I'm going to be going, no, you keep it as it is. And you go, oh, I'm so bored. Well, you may be bored, but actually your seniors, your older adults will not be bored. They will be a sense of I've nailed this, I've achieved something. Okay, so you do have to stop thinking like you do. It's like, you know, your personal trainer wants to change it all the time. Why? Because they've done 52 sessions that week and they're actually quite bored with that, so they'd like to change it. And I'm going, well, I've only just got to grips with this. I'm happy to stay there. So you need to think slightly differently. No one is more forgiving than a group of older adults. Are they? Those of you who teach, who already teach them? Yeah, they're brilliant. All right. I mean, you could tell them to stand on their head in the corner, you know, wiggle their fingers, and off they go to find a corner. They will do exactly what you tell them. They trust you. They're so forgiving. You can be out of time the entire class, and they won't bother them. Really won't. You know. With a bit of luck, some of them will be in time with you because they're also out of time. So you know, it will be looking okay. So they're such a rewarding and satisfying group of people to work with. We do need to be aware of the issues in terms of medical conditions, which obviously as you age, so yeah, who feels like they're not really good at keeping in time? Okay, a few of you, good. Well, be reassured this is not about using lots of music. This is about, we'll bring some of it in, because if you don't have music at all, you're missing out. Music is really inspiring, it's motivating. You can get, you know, the eras or the music that they like, which makes them feel comfortable. I had one lady, I played one I'm going to do today as well, played that the other day in my class, and she sang the whole way through. She was beside me, she sang every single word, you know, bless her. So music's really important, but you don't necessarily have to keep in time all the time, and it doesn't have to be that complex, so hopefully you'll get some examples of that today. Right, let's get going. I need 2 team leaders. Steve, it's got to be you. Come up here, and what's your name? Jaden, all right, we'll have 2 boys, yeah? Come on. Only because they got put on. In front of a crowd. There's yours, look, I'm being quite Jaden, that's your colour. You got any Irish in him? He's got Irish in him, you see, there you go, I knew that. All right, everybody else, come out here, boys, and get in that line behind either Steve or Jaden, you choose. I'm riding a horse. Oh. He's still mowing the lawn on the horse. Yeah. Now he's going to think of something else to say, but he's not going to do it. He's got to keep riding his horse, and we're all riding his horse too. What's it going to be, yeah? What are you going to do next?
Play ice hockey.
Play ice hockey. All right, now come on out. Come on out, Steve. Yeah, come on out. Stop playing to the camera. Get out. Steve's going to come in and he's going to ice hockey. That's it.
Oh, he's good.
Ice hockey, and he's going to give us a direction for Lisa. What's this one?
And we're going to be riding a bike.
You're riding a bike, okay. Come on in, Lisa. Yeah. Riding a bike, okay. Tell us what you're going to do, what we've got to do next. walk a very, very strong dog on the lead. Oh, walking a dog on a lead. All right, next one's in. All right. Give us a direction. Walking the dog. Yeah, what are you doing? What have we got to do next? Hopping. Okay, hopping. This is not recommended for older adults. Let's do something that's not quite skipping. Okay, no, skipping. Yeah, you'll be right there. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, sorry. Slightly better. Slightly improved. So if anybody wants, there's about 6 of them here. If anyone wants a copy of this, you can. If you want me to email it to you, I can do that as well. And then you can put your own brand logo, etc. in it, if you like it. Key things are it's big enough to read for older eyes. It's getting all the information you want without being too intimidating and pseudo-medical information, without it being too intimidating or too onerous to complete. Right, the other thing that I've got on here, which I think is a really nice question to ask, is what are you hoping to improve as a result of participating in this class? Let's find out what your expectations are. You know, we all assume though, that what they need, and to a large degree you're correct, but let's find out what their expectations are. And something like, number 3, I don't know if you already asked, is your blood pressure normal? Well, if they don't get their blood pressure checked, they're going to say yes, aren't they? Because they don't know any different. So a question like, when was your blood pressure last checked, and was it normal? What was it? And they may not know exactly, but if they might say, oh yeah, I had a check last year and the doctor said it was normal, that's good enough for me. But what if, when was it last checked? Oh, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. And you're 78, I don't know, next time you're at the doctor, let's get it checked, or you have it checked as well. And you probably, if you've been in the fitness industry any length of time, you've probably had situations where you have discovered high blood pressure in somebody and had them sent off, and it's important to do these screenings. Okay, any questions on the screening?
Chris, can I get your opinion? Because get someone who's coming along with a friend for the first time.
Yeah.
I let them slip in for the first time.
Yeah.
I just wondered what.
Yeah. If there isn't, this is covered on page 23.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. If that's exactly what will happen from time to time, and they turn up and you haven't got 10 minutes before to chat with them, etc., and to get the screening done. The 5 quick questions with the new friend would be to say, do you have any joint problems that I should know about? What about any heart conditions? Is your blood pressure normal? Any other medical issues, diabetes, asthma? And I'll just literally be a 30-second thing. Do you do any, do you do anything at the moment? Do you do any regular activity at the moment? Have you ever done anything like this before? And obviously, what's your name? And welcome them. And and that's great, Melissa. Great to have you along. When we start off, I'd really like you to be there, just so that I can, can see you quite easily, and you can hear me, and you can see me, and Joe and your friend can be beside you, etc. So I'd really make a point of that. Now, the other worst case scenario is that you've got a new class, or they're really late, so they come in the back.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's a problem. So, anybody new to the class, anybody here for the first time, please put your hand up. Okay, great, welcome. Now, do any of you have any joint problems? If you do, just put your hand up, and I'll come and see you just in a minute. And so you do a real quick one, all right? And again, heart conditions, medical issues. Okay, we're good to go. Just listen to your body, rest when you want to. I'd love to meet you at the end, please.
Thank you.
You've got to
Do people embarrassed to say that they've got issues?
Yeah, they are, and that's why if it's one-to-one like this, you and me, and there's nobody listening around, that they should be fine. Yeah. But you make it really quite, sort of low-key. Yeah.
I can imagine that you.
I don't. Yeah. The person at the back's not going to put it. Yes. Well, I had a heart attack last year, and what happened then was that, and then my bowels wouldn't work, and then no, you're not going to get that. But well, you sometimes do get those stories, but yeah. But that's why I'd say just raise your hand if you have any joint issues, because that's not too embarrassing. No. And then you can go across to them and say, sorry, what was your name, Josephine? What is it? Shoulder, neck, hip, knee, and then do you have anything else? Any other health issues? Anything heart, asthma, da-di-da-di-da. And so you can do it one-to-one quietly with them, and then come and see me afterwards, and I'll just check how you got on and find out a bit more about you. So. Yeah, you've got to be a bit like an octopus. You've got your tentacle out there, haven't you, sort of getting your music sorted. And then you've got, old Mary over there wants to tell you about the dog that died. And then you've got, somebody new at the back. Right. Screening in terms of the venue. A 6-point checklist on page 24, that's pretty easy. pretty obvious really, isn't it? Check for leaks and bumps and, you know, earthquake cracks and are they going to be able to hear you? Are they going to be able to see you? Are there any distractions? We used to do it in the Mount Pleasant Hall, and some kind of kindergarten thing was beside there, and so we used to get all the kids lined up with their noses on the glass, and sometimes doing their tongues as well. And I used to wonder why, you know, I'd be sort of going this way, and the whole class would have ground to a halt, but I couldn't see it, and all these kids are, you know, looking with their tongues on the windows. It was very funny. And it was a good reminder for me as to why I didn't have children. But you know, just watch for distractions and things like that. Temperature. Are they dressed appropriately? Are their shoes okay? Do they have any dangling necklaces? Sometimes, I've had ladies come with their pearls on. You have too, Bonnie, haven't you? Yeah. Nice string of pearls, which you can just see go. They are very unlikely to chew gum. Has anybody ever come across anybody who chews gum? No. And it sounds obvious, but, you know, check on that front door and where they've got to come to get to the venue. A bit like this one here, you know, if you didn't know it was up here, and you plucked up all your courage to come and do this, and you couldn't find it, you'd go home. We've all got stories of people who've come to health clubs and drive around the car park and drive home again. You know, it's no different. So just make sure everything is in place as far as possible to make it easy for them to get to you and find you. All right, a Boy Scout Essentials box. These are the sort of things that you should have in your Boy Scout box: sign-in, a roll book, rego forms, pens, obviously, blank name tags. I mean, I'll put everything in here. A thick felt pen for your name tags. The concession cards, that's discussed later in the resource, and obviously receipt book if you need it, promotional material, your music, a whistle, bell, stopwatch, jelly beans. I think I might have an example. Why would I have jelly beans or something sweet like that with me? Yeah, just for any hypos. You can't go wrong if you give them something sweet, even if you're not having a hypo. You're not going to do any damage, so, and that could just save the day and help them come out of it. Exactly. Small first aid kit, or at least plasters, and last but not least, a fully charged mobile phone. That's absolutely crucial. Even if you're in a venue where there is a phone, it's still not going to be as quick as if you've got your mobile. So have that. And obviously you hold a first aid certificate. That's fine. Golden rules on page 26. Assess the safety of the venue, know your participants and what their medical issues are, have the emergency contact numbers for them on your rego forms or on the back of their badges. So, everybody just look on the back of your badge and see if you've got anything there. Sorry, don't pull your shirt, but has anybody got anything on the back? Yeah. Barb, what have you got on yours?
Susan Smith.
Yeah.
Phone numbers, cell phone, and the fact that I'm an asthmatic and
okay.
required.
Okay, so what's Barb's got on the back there is her ICE in case of emergency contact. ICE in case of emergency. So that is Susan, that's your daughter, alright? So that if Barb collapses, and I know her as Barb, but oh my God, you know, where's my rego form, etc. I don't have to go very far, I just look on the back of her badge. That's her daughter, that's her number. She's an asthmatic. I've got medication issues on there. Yeah, what have you got?
Oh, no,
You've got one, yeah.
I have it, yeah. I've got Jocelyn Harvey, it's a friend, and a cell phone number, and no medication.
Yeah, so again, if you collapse, if the ambulance arrives, this is the worst case scenario, but if the ambulance arrives and says, you know, has this person got any known problems? I'm going to say no, for sure. She'll need medication. No. It says no medication. Now, you can get them to write that themselves, or you can write it for them, you know, find out the information, which you'll get on the rego forms, and just transfer it. But it's really important to have that medication down there as well. Yeah. Okay, there it is. And in fact, who was it? Was it the YMCA, Bronnie, who had this issue? Yes, it was, the YMCA. I'll tell you what the little stars mean in a minute, but let's say Rebecca's only got one star, and that actually indicates she hasn't been coming very long. So Rebecca, actually she's only been coming less than, let's say she had no stars, so she'd only been one time previously. She collapses, or you can't quite understand her, and everybody's going, well, what's her name? I don't know. Was it Becky? Was it Bronwyn? Was it, I don't know. We actually don't know, because she hasn't been coming for very long. But if she's got a badge that's all there, it just takes the pressure off. And if as an instructor you fill in, like I do occasionally, I don't know any of these people. So I've just got a sea of older people, and again, if something happens, worst case scenario, odds are very slim, but I want to be prepared. I want to know who I've got in my class to be able to respond appropriately. So the badges are really essential for that reason, as well as the obvious one of learning names, and I'll explain the star things in a minute. So your mobile phone, yes. Now assess before you give an instruction to move. You know, like I said before, I'm making sure that Jeff, who's tucked himself up in the corner, as is his wont, when he goes to the left, and actually I want everyone to go to the right, but he's going to go to the left, I can guarantee it, he's going to hit his head on something, on a protruding upside down table that they have in community halls all the time. So I'm going to assess that situation, and before I'll have everyone march on spot while I get Jeff away from the table. Jeff, to me, come on down, and then I'll go. All right? It's absolutely fine, just hold them in place while you assess the whole thing. Two people are too close together. And all right, if they go the right way, that'll be fine, but if one goes the wrong way, then that's a 50% chance. So, just spread apart a little bit. Josephine and Helene, just spread apart, can you? Yeah, so assess before you give an instruction to move. Offer alternative movements if you need to, and cues like work at your own pace, stay with what's comfortable, stop any time you want for a drink or rest break. And when you've got big mixtures of ability, this is even more important to give them permission. You could even have I don't know if I've got this somewhere, I might have some. You can even have a rest chair. Yeah, so here's the rest chair. Everyone have that? That's quite a good idea. Anytime you need to sit down on the rest chair, you do so. Absolutely fine. I want to see at least one person sitting on the rest chair this session. Okay? Because otherwise it's all, well, I'm not going to sit down. I want to sit down. So who's going to sit down now? Whose turn is it? And obviously looking for signs of distress, pale, off balance, laboured breathing, and all that sort of thing. Okay. Any questions on any of that? No? Okay, we're going to do some ball games now, some very simple ball games. I love balls. I'm a phys ed teacher, right? So balls are my thing. And I find them just fantastic because they get a real sense of satisfaction, catching and throwing. It's simple, but you actually get that. Plus you're getting a workout, which, it's all good stuff. And you have a bit of fun. Now you need to be a little bit careful. I've done competition type things, and frankly that's a mistake because they're really competitive, and they're barging each other out the way, and it could all turn very nasty. So just be mindful of that, and don't go too crazy with it. Okay, boys, back again, please. You're our team leaders. I won't make you wear the hats. You've got them off now. So come on out, and we will have another team leader. Yep, June. And so I'm not sure who's Joe. June and Joe. So we've got 4 teams. You have to find yourself a team. People need to feel comfortable knowing what's coming up, especially this age group, this sort of exercise, etc. And we sometimes are guilty of assuming everybody knows what they should bring and how they should be and da-di-da. Should I eat beforehand? I want to fit in. I want to do the right thing. So give them every piece of information that you can in a nice readable format. Right, the loyalty ideas. This is on page 60. So this is my LOFA 5-star award scheme. LOFA, obviously you've read that on the front cover, standing for Leading Older Adults in Functional Fitness Activity. So the LOFA award is all around how often people come. And if you've got any kind of role registration system, which you should have, then that should be easy. 1 star is somebody who has been 5 times. So you get a newbie. Actually, I stamped everybody because I didn't want anyone to feel left out that they didn't have anything at all. But if there was a new person, they wouldn't have any stars, and so I'd make a big deal when they came to their 5th one. Hey, you're now you're off the newbie board. You are now, a 5-star. Oh, sorry, 1 star on your 5th visit. The next one will be 15, and that's undergrad. Give them another star on their name tag or a little card to take home. Perhaps give them something now, a free session for themselves or a friend, and or a voucher for a cup of coffee, something simple like that. Then it goes to 30th, they're seasoned. Then it goes to 50, they're experienced, a bit more recognition now, they'll have been attending around 2 years. And on 100, they'll be a master. Those people probably have been attending about 30 years. That's 30 years. 3 years. Sometimes it feels like 3 years. And this is really common in this age group, in this type of class, isn't it? They've been coming for yours. Bonnie, some of yours have been coming for 30 years.
Yeah.
10 years. Loads of them.
15 with me and another 10 before that.
Yeah, that's right. So, make a big deal of it. It's important. It's recognition. And they will be your greatest fans. They'll be the ones that bring people along and refer people, etc. But you've got to recognise and acknowledge them along the way. So, do we have anyone here who has got 4 stars on their badge? Irene. Irene has. So, here she comes. Now, I've unfortunately spelled Irene's name wrong, but look, this is a little rock for Irene. This is awarded to Irene. She's fit bug extraordinaire. So all it is a little flat rock from you know where. Birding's flat. Yeah. And I didn't really do enough with it. I would have painted it and done it with better stuff, but I only did it quickly this morning. Put a little fit buggy thing on there, which you get from the there you go. So now look, it's a simple little thing, isn't it? This is a little paperweight, and I just make a big deal of it. Thank you very much. To be honest, after the 4th one, I think a T-shirt is something fairly significant. Because they'll love that. Ronnie did great T-shirts for her group. They still wear them, don't they? Yeah. How much is that? Or there's some other good ideas in there, like socks, as I say, coffee vouchers. And I do have here it's easy. I just got a coffee culture $5 voucher, because in Christchurch, there's coffee cultures everywhere. But if you live in Timbuktu, then you get the Timbuktu. You do a deal with them. Yeah, but and I'd give this to Irene and say, all right, now who's going to join Irene to drink a coffee? Yep. And so everyone will go, oh yeah, I'll come down later, etc. So away you go. Yep. It's been your lucky day, isn't it? You better take that up. So that and look, if you don't even, if it's not totally accurate, it doesn't matter. I mean, Ange could go to Ronnie's old class now. Probably Ronnie would say, yeah, they've all been coming for 5 years. So Ange could go now and say, all you guys are 5-year plus veterans, you're all going to get X, Y, Z. I mean, it's probably not, but you know what I mean. So it doesn't have to be exactly, but keep a record. Quite a few teachers have said, oh yeah, I wish I'd kept the record right from the start. Hilda, my 80, whatever, an older lady, Hilda came to my very first class, and she's still coming, and she'd never been to an exercise class in her life before. She went and bought these big shoes from Warehouse that were, big and clumpy. She'd never wore training shoes in her life, and she was 80. And to be honest, they're a bit of a liability. I can see some tripping up on them. But she's fantastic, and I constantly make an example of her as someone who had never done this before. She turned 80 and decided she needed to do something, and bingo. So she brings people. Guess what? She brings her friends, and just nice and slowly, but make a big deal of it. So that's the local awards. The concession card ideas that you can do, obviously, buy in advance and therefore get a slight discount, come to 4 classes and get a free one, and of course the referral thing. Every now and again, make it sort of official. So I have got a thing with Fitbug. I think Fitbugs work really well. Fitbugs work for kids, and I think they work for older people as well. This is a little chocolate Fitbug. The only thing I would say is that this is the most disgusting chocolate I've ever tasted. And if you're going to eat chocolate, you don't want to waste it on crap, do you? So just be aware that this is not good chocolate, but it's a theme. Pass the Fitbug on. Pass this voucher to someone who would like to try a class for free anytime in April 2013. They just need to bring this card, minus the chocolate, of course, so you can find better tasting chocolate. But again, or you could just put a little bug on it, etc. So hand this out to your class every now and again. Not all the time, but maybe when the term starts, or once a month, or something like that. Make it sort of official, and it's a bit of a gimmick, and away you go. Russ is funny, because Russ has a convenience card, but there's absolutely no discount on it at all, which I think is brilliant. So this is what's convenient. 1, 2, and then cross the hand. 3, 4. Back you go. This time, all the way over you go before you get one, okay? To your partner. High again, high. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over you go. Lovely work. Speed up. Go. Back her down. Woo. 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on, get that toe going. We can change the direction. Guys, back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, 2. Your partner. 'Alright, so your first instruction will be always bend your knees, bend your knees. Now from there you're going to roll over whichever side is more comfortable. So again, somebody might have a bad shoulder, so they're going to go the opposite way. So whichever way is more comfortable, over you go, so that you're on your side. Now again, some people might have problems being on their wrists, so elbows are fine. That's it, so Irene's good for this, that's it, perfect. How are your wrists?
Not terrible.
Not brilliant. So you stay here. This is absolutely fine. From here, you're going to, if you can, crawl to something that you can help pull yourself up with, whether it's a chair or whatever. But that may not always be available. So what do you do if you've got nothing to pull yourself up on? I'll show you. It's all around getting a wide stability, a wide base with your feet. So you get up to your elbows or on your wrists if you're comfortable. You get around onto your knees, and again, somebody might have one bad knee. I mean, hopefully you've got two, but if you've got one bad knee, don't worry about that. But somehow get a wide base with your feet, and then you're going to do what they call the bear crawl. So you're going to come back with a wide base, and from there, with your legs wide, you're much more likely to be able to get up. So often people do quite narrow. That's it. All right, now come back down again, Irene. Good girl. Come back down. That's perfect. Go down on your elbows. So you can teach this in class. Get them in this position. Assume that they're okay on their knees. So here we go. Go back, up, and down again. Go back, up, down again. All right? This time back up.
But you don't do it.
And actually take your knees off the ground and put your knees back down. Nice and slow. And make sure they've got good padding. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So teach this. Elbow, hand. Take your feet, knees off the ground and come back again. Right, so they get used to doing this. This is really important. Poor old, what was his name? Bronny, the physio's mum. She phoned him up one day and said, "I'm stuck in bed. I can't get out. I can't get out of bed." So she sort of got like this, and what she was trying to do was come straight up like that, which we know shouldn't be done anyway. But she was, and then she panicked, okay, because she just thought, I can't move. And of course she didn't really think slowly. Angry cat. Happy dog. Sit back on your heels. Good. Roll onto your back. Onto your back now. Bend your knees and put your hands under your waistband. Push yourself back down so you're crushing your fingers. Crush them. And relax. Crush your fingers. Relax. Crush your fingers. Yeah? Yeah, alright. The point is, make it meaningful to them. So your nice little hot chocolate, little cappuccino with a Jaffa on the side, plates, whatever it may be. But imagine that balanced on your back. So try and create some metaphors and visuals. That's great. Sitting back. All right. From here, let's try that getting up technique. So legs wide, wide base. Push back. Bend your knees, nice and wide, That's it. Quite wide, Irene. Good work. This is assuming you don't have anything to help you get up, which is going to be unlikely, but you never know. Good girl. Nice and slow, small steps, small steps. Now, there's a couple more themes because they're really good fun. This one is all about water and surfing, so you know what's coming. Maybe move your mats, because again, this would be a hazard. Actually, you're not wrong. We could actually use this as our surfboards, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Right, good. Now this one I definitely make up as I go along. It's always a little bit different, but it's good fun. I've watched Bronnie do it, so it's quite surfing.
That's how I learnt to surf.
Alright, here we go. We are swimming out past the breakwater. Yeah. Oh yeah, alright. Alright, he's right actually. We should be doing that.
We should be on the board.
Little bit of breaststroke. Yep. Alright, having a little rest and we're going to do a lazy backstroke. Lazy backstroke. Okay, here we go. Take up the position. Look behind you. Have a look at the waves coming up. Should we do it? Should we catch it? Yeah. Paddle. And we're up. Yahoo! To the front of the board, 2. Hang 10. Look at me. Sadly, nobody's watching. You're off the board and you're swimming. This will be okay. Here we go. Other side, front